Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Count Christo and this is the Best of Both Worlds campaign. Thank you very much for joining me. We are in a relatively stable position. Much of the world's at war with us, but some of it is on our side. Brazil, of course. Oh, Brazil took neutral foreign policy. That's good. So they probably won't join the Allies, actually. It's good to know. Mexico, sadly, doesn't want to stab the United States in the back, which would be fun if they did, but no matter. We are on the very cusp of fixing our manpower problems. Unless the game crashes. Please don't crash. Hey, it didn't crash. Okay, I'm going to save because that concerns me. I haven't saved in a while. Save, please. Fabulous. Okay. The Eastern Front has stabilized. The African campaign went really well. France. We still do have a tiny bit of control down here in Ethiopia. Interesting enough. Another naval invasion in the Benelux region. Canada, I'm going to make you regret doing that. So we should... oh, we got caught by a Soviet force. A fairly sizable Soviet force, including a battleship. Bring it on, Soviet battleship. We will bring you down. With great aplomb. Lots of Soviet ground-based planes, unfortunately, immediately annihilated our planes. But, nah, fight didn't really go anywhere. Probably because we're on convoy raiding rather than search and destroy. So let's try searching and destroying that Soviet fleet. And to back us up, let's bring some ground-based planes with some more ground crews. Because that darn... oh, they're catching us over here now. Okay, let's bring some more ground-based planes. Perhaps you lot can come over here. Do both. And I'll also give you ground crews, because I just always forget to use those things. Just a couple of destroyers we've caught. Hopefully we could get a couple of naval bombers hit. Yep, doing some damage to them. No kills, though. Soviets are over here as well, it looks like. Interesting. Well, we'll keep on at it then, with our ground-based plane support. Should be arriving soon. We should have a good shot at taking them out. If you would operate in both regions, that would be fine. Carriers do work half as well when you have them operating in two regions, so once they actually get into a fight, I'll remove one of the regions. No, I'd like you to... excuse me, hello? Can I give move orders while retreating? Well, I didn't want you to retreat, but fair enough. I did give the order to retreat, so I can see how that would confuse you. Alright. Complete the retreat order then. So I can actually give you a new order. And it's time! It's finally time! Extensive conscription. We are now mobilizing 0.21. I think that's how much we were mobilizing per day anyway, actually. What do you mean 3% available per day? Oh, maybe that means evadable and it's going to go up. Because it should be much higher than 3%. There's some manpower. It's coming in. Glorious. Alright. Surely we can beat these friggin' destroyers and submarines. But I think because they're technically retreating, they're never going to actually... Here. Repair now. Leave the fight. So that I can actually... put you back into the fight. Cancel a repair task. Does that cancel a retreat? Hey, I think it might have. No. Repair? Cancel a repair. Search and destroy. No. I don't know. I think our battleship might destroy these guys anyway. Even though he's currently trying to run away. Have you got any rear-facing guns? You look like you do. That looks like a gun turret just there. Fire some secondary guns at these destroyers. I'm not sure about this. Break the hegemony. We should honestly maybe go on construction engineering because of all these forts we're building for a bit. I know I was going to get the Belgian focus, but we don't really need that right now. Seriously, fleet, would you retreat or do something? Seriously, British bombers, could you kill this battleship so we could leave this fight? I would be on board with that. Modern oil processing. Fantastic. Which means we can import far less from Venezuela. Excellent news. New tech. Rubbers, I mean, we're still importing some. No, we're actually not. I didn't realise that. Cool. Encryption is always nice. Radar would be useful for our air battles. The Europa class wouldn't go amiss. Better supply. Supply is a very high priority. And we haven't actually put the supply company in here, I just realised. So let's do that. And the Inf2s also need a supply company, and we'll give them a field hospital since manpower is such a huge issue. In fact, I'll even give this one a field hospital. We should have plenty of motorized to accomplish that. So all our men are going to be under strength for a little bit because of all those changes, but that's fine. As those changes come through, all will be fine and dandy. I'm very confused about what's going on in this fleet battle, so I'm going to choose to not worry about it. Except to do this. Bring in some naval striking bombers. Oh, hey, it ended, and then restarted, and then ended. What is going on? One of the carriers is quite damaged, but they don't seem to have any land-based planes here, so I would like to take this fight. If we could. Still no land-based planes. Oh, my guys are on do not engage. Shit, let's change that. We won't really make it very far at all. Alright, the battleships are going forwards. I really don't want to lose the Potsdam. But I am almost prepared to do so to bring down a sizable chunk of the capital ships of this fleet. Where is the rest of my navy? What's going on? Why are only 5 of my battleships going into this? I mean, I guess that means the ship that's damaged is not going into it, so that's good. And our land-based bombers are doing fine work. They've, yeah, done some pretty good damage. Battleships are taking some hits, but not nearly as many as they're getting. Kill that battlecruiser. Kill the Howe. Get him. Get him. Oh, they're shooting at the battleships now. That's fine. Oh, the Allies have brought up some carriers. Where's the rest of my freaking fleet? Well, so far, these guys are doing sterling work. Are these super heavies? Yeah, super heavy, Battleship 2, and Battleship 2. Doing sterling work. Might be able to take out this entire British fleet. Especially with the land-based support meaning that the enemy carriers have been annihilated. Construction 5 is phenomenal timing. We're doing so much building right now. Leg infantry soft attack. Just because it affects so many of your divisions. Still doing good work. I'm seeing the Scharnhorst is at 28% strength. And the Groben Deutschland is at 62. It's a bit worrying. These destroyers are in torpedo range, which is dangerous. But we're doing such good damage, I think I'm going to commit to this fight. We're going to stay in. I'm hopeful that we could get some hits on the enemy carriers. Oh, that CA just took a critical hit and was annihilated. Fabulous news. There goes the light cruiser. Looks like they're trying to retreat, but they're bringing in reinforcements as well. We're gaining on the carrier. One of the carriers has retreated. This one's trying to retreat now. Yep, there he goes. And this destroyer is also retreating. Yeah. Still, fabulous battle. We lost one submarine. We killed a huge portion of the British surface fleet. And we immediately caught their carriers with our carriers, which means our naval bombers are taking hits. Or rather, getting hits. Didn't get any kills, though. And their anti-air successfully took out a few of ours. Caught them again? No. Oh, yep, caught them again down here. Come on. Get those nav bombers in there. It's nighttime. Now, okay, daytime. Get in there, get in there. So get the surface fighters in there. The 15 battleships advancing on them. God, that'd be a terrifying sight. A carrier with like a tiny bit of destroyer cover being approached by 16 battleships, including the largest ships the world has ever seen in the super heavy style. That's very cool. Well, let's not overdo it. Let's not let our success go to our heads. We are going to return to port and repair. We've got 100,000 manpower and I couldn't be happier. We're going to spend almost all of it on deploying planes. We're actually in fighter deficit, but we have a huge amount of close air support that we can deploy. So let's do so. And these ones obviously will all reinforce up to full strength. Need one more wing there. Down here we need 3 more wings. We're we're going to start doing crazy damage to them with close air support. So we need more fighters, is the message there. So let's... honestly, since manpower's such a huge issue, we could even reduce panzer production, but I don't want to. This could take a hit. This is the fighters, right? Yeah. We only have 100 reserve CAS fighters. No, we got 400. Okay. But that's probably still too few. Let's go up to 5 on those. And then go to maybe 40 on this. We don't really need 10 on transports. Okay, we can take a little bit off this and this. And then the remaining ones that we build can go in there. That looks good to me. Okay, here we're going to want a bunch more CAS. And another 4 there. Good. I'm very glad that we actually have the manpower to finally start deploying serious numbers of close air support. It's going to make such a difference. Such a huge difference. Okay, and here we can put some more as well. I don't want to deploy all of them. Yeah, we'll leave those ones in reserve. Now it's time for naval bombers, and this is where we're going to really bring the pain. We'll deploy it in wings of 800, and then we can just split them down and organize from there. Beautiful. 1,600 naval bombers being deployed over a fight like this. I think those carriers would sink. Alright, honestly, I think I'm happy to go to speed 5 for the first time in quite a while. Let's let those planes deploy. Speed 5 and 4 are almost exactly the same speed at the moment, but still. Okay, so you guys, let's get some split. Give me crazy CAS support. Same down here. Everyone in. And here. Everyone in. Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. You can fly from there, except one of you. Go down here. Good. Anyone overstacked? One here overstacked? Why? Ah, because one of these is a 4. Easily fixed. Some of you can fly from over here. There we go. Should be sorted now. Good. And almost 2,000 close air support flying over there now. Absolutely beautiful. Let's do the splits on these guys. And you can get deleted. Okay. 1,600 torpedo bombers on demand. Extremely, extremely powerful addition. Why are there so many planes here? Oh, they're not all mine? Fair enough. Well, we'll just put our planes there, ignoring the fact there are enemy planes there, and then our allies should move. Your allies don't stay in overstacked air bases anymore, I believe. We'll put 400 here. And 400 here. And these guys can fly from here. Good. Okay, so now we have 400 fighters going up to 500. Supported by 1,600 naval bombers. Who, on demand, you just go boom, boom, boom. And suddenly we start decimating everything in the North Sea. Okay, so that is a god almighty navy invasion. My goodness gracious me. And a new carrier, just what we needed. Tier 3 as well, to replace the lost one. Fabulous. Let's remove some of these ships. We don't want to take the damaged ones in to this fight. But I'm going to see if we can sink. We're going to bring you, I'm afraid, because you're veterans. You, however, no, it's not sensible. We want the veterans to stay alive. Remove the destroyer. Okay. Convoy raid, engage, never repair. I'll tell you when to repair. Let's go wipe out those guys. Activate the air power. Instantly sunk a few of them. Here we go. We've caught them. That means they can't get away. I don't know if they even have any support. Where is your naval support? 3 destroyers? That's not going to be enough, my man. We should see this number here start to drop. There we go. Yes! Almost 100 American convoys. Well, 100 Allied convoys. Bring them down. Very nice. Drive this part back. I'll send some guys over to Wilhelmshaven just to destroy those that dared land. Easy kills, like shooting fishes in a barrel. Of course, at night we're not going to get much of in way of help from our surface guys, but That's fine. Dawn will come. Look at the melt. I should have checked the American casualties before and after, but they are rising. Look at that. Oh, that's a lot of convoys. That's a lot of convoys. Bye-bye, American invasion. That was a substantial number of men. That was probably a couple of 100,000 men at least involved in that massive naval invasion. Thrown, veritably cast back into the ocean from whence they came. Look at that. And some Soviet ones to melt as well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now we just merrily return to base. You know, mission accomplished and all that. We sunk. Can we see easily, like, how many we sunk? Not really. I'm not going to go through them all. Actual naval combats? Not really. Okay, we're still a bit short on oil. Romania is prepared to give us a bit more. That's good. Is there any other oil-producing provinces that we can develop? Like here, I mean, 12 to 16 is not a fantastic improvement, but I mean, I'm prepared to do anything at the moment for a little bit more oil production. Speaking of which, once we get a little bit more political power, we can start prospecting. So, Friesland oil fields? Sure. We'll do that. Okay, Navy returns home safe and sound. We just wait on the next invasion, basically. Oh, hello, Americans. You're landing down here as well, are you? Well, you've no supply, so I'm not overly concerned, but we should at least have some kind of response mustered. So, with 200,000 manpower, it's finally time. We're not going to get a bunch more infantry yet, but we have enough for it to practically double the number of light tanks that we actually have in the field. So let's... Oh my god, I have enough light tanks for several armies of them. That's insane. That's all the light tanks we have. Let's just fill that up with the new manpower. Obviously, I'm sending half of these support defences because I'm concerned they might launch new offensives. Any more men for me? Yes, Bulgaria. Trained a few. Greece. Trained a few. Any for you, Romania? Not yet. Italy? I don't see any, but worth a check. No. Okay, so use 6. Do I want to just beef up the defences, or do I want to have a response force in the middle? I think I'd rather beef up defences. So the areas that have actually been attacked recently is this Italian region. And up here. So we'll increase numbers there. Another invasion, but just totally failing in the actual invasion part itself. You guys can stand down. That's fine. We'll put them back in when we're actually involved in repelling borders, as it were. Soviets haven't managed to make any ground yet. That's excellent. Fort Wall hasn't been improved yet because I focused on the Allied side, which I think is justified. There's a lot of Allied troops over here. Could cause problems. We could put bombers down here to help with the naval invasions, but I don't think it's really that necessary. Soviet forces on the Caucasus front looking a bit weak. Actually, we could push Azerbaijan. Yeah, let's push to the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, so I'm trusting that I can remove the tanks and still hold. That's too risky. I think we can hold in the south, though. With these 6 tanks, give me 6 tanks and I will move mountains. So I think, in this case, the Caucasus. So let's do this. Bring some of these down here. And I will deploy some of those northern tanks to here. We will be rush deploying these tanks, by the way. Tanks can gain experience on the job, that's fine. Even the centre's having some lower org here. I did spread it thinner, which was a good move, but obviously does come with the added risks. If we tighten that up a bit, then we'll be able to do even better without these southern tanks. Shouldn't you be heading over here, my man? We will want some plane support for this. So I'll grab these guys and these fighters here. Have them come down here. Good. We'll obviously need to split them into various air bases to make this work, but that's fine. Manpower now, just as soon as it ticks up, it's being deployed into these things, which is good because it deploys the manpower nice and evenly among them, which means they can all start training at once, which is, of course, very useful. God, the volume is way too loud on the music. I apologise. Let me drop that down. Sorry, that's probably been too loud for quite a while now. Sorry about that. So that American naval invasion has been thrown back into the sea. That's what we like. Alright, merge these guys back up. And then split them once more. Beautiful. Let's send these guys out to their designated repair zones. Beautiful. Get the fleet back up in tip-top shape. We could also research some better panzers soon. We should definitely do that. Yeah, let's forget improved infantry and get some better panzers. I want my medium tank divisions to just melt the enemy, which they basically just will do, just by dint of being medium tank divisions. But oh, perfect! The Soviets launched an offensive. That's going to seriously weaken them and give us ample opportunity for a lovely counter-attack. So these guys did all deploy their new ships, which is glorious. It's time to make a new super heavy battleship design with much more gun, more reliability, no penetrating me. Give me some armor as well. Seems phenomenal. And we'll switch it over. Lose 60 days of production. It's a shame, but I'm going to do it. Cancel. Or rather, decommission the old version. I do want to keep, I think, 30 ships. 30, well, no. Let's give the super heavy battleships their due. The O class I'm not as fussed about. There isn't, I believe, a highest tier. There isn't a 1940 O class cruiser. That's okay. They're just there for killing. What are they called? Cruisers and destroyers. So they don't need to be tip-top shape. Quick little encirclements here will be followed by devastating strikes into the Caucasus Mountains, and then obviously we'll just take up a defensive position on the Caucasus and bask in the glory of being able to have the Baku oil fields all for ourselves, taking a serious strain off our import economy. Which will be marvellous. Wipe them out as we encircle them. Pin them here so they don't get away before the encirclement takes place. The airplanes are in the right place. No one's overstacked. All looking phenomenal. This is more of a pinning attack, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm doing that. Just to allow this encirclement to get completed and then closed before they could reinforce down. Now, once more, let's just go. Big attack. Obviously, mountains, not where our tanks enjoy fighting. Just me, or did he go, ow? And kind of stutter on it. That was weird. Got another pocket there. Good. Now we can bring in some more tanks and make this no longer a pinning attack, but rather a crushing attack. You guys basically just cut across to Baku. And just drive them back and establish the front line we're going to hold. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The tanks, combined with the fact that the Soviets had recently been engaged in some futile offensives in this region, makes this an absolute cakewalk. Melting them. Even straight through the mountains. Thing of beauty. New naval invasions. Alpine region, not being a problem. Eastern Germany, interesting. But yeah, no new naval threats, just doing a quick check. Always good to do that kind of check every so often, because you never know when they're gonna launch somewhere annoying and sneak behind your guys. Because if they land, they can land like 30 guys each enemy, and we have several, in case you hadn't noticed. Can land like 30 divisions at once. 50, I think. Or is it 70? I think it might be 70. So obviously that's a huge number to land. If they land next to a port and then attack the meager, 3 defenders that we have on the port, we're in big trouble. Late game, there is no port defense, which is good enough to stop people landing next to your ports, which is why it's important to have rapid response units when you're playing in multiplayer in order to defend against that kind of thing. It's like I never did that. Cool. What I think we're going to do now is all future guys that we conscript from our guys are going to go on like a big fallback line that just goes down the center of the army. And then places that get invaded often, we will beef up with those. Each time they get invaded, we'll add one more guy, that kind of thing. That way we'll know that we keep them in the appropriate locales. No, don't use the friggin' garrison order. Why does the garrison order... Oh, no, of course, it uses the whole army. That's why it deletes your other orders. It could just unassign things from your other orders, though, and accomplish the same thing. Historically, of course, the German push to Baku came from the other direction and was stopped in the on actually this side of these mountains, which was interesting. I didn't know that until recently, but apparently the Soviets managed to hold them in the foothills of the Caucasus, on the southern side of the foothills, which is strange when you think about it. You would have thought they'd hold them, you know, in the passes and things. I think they held them partly in the passes, but in a couple of places they got past the passes, if you'll pardon the phrase. That wasn't intentional, believe it or not. We will be able to get them to give us control of Baku, I think, without too much trouble. If we have to, we'll give them some land somewhere else, like in, we can give them Egypt and stuff. We've done the building we want to do in Egypt now. Got the, well, we don't want to give them the Sahara yet. Actually, yeah, let's beef up this in anticipation that we might have to give them control of Egypt. But it works well from a nice borders perspective as well. Turkey has put in a fair amount of contribution in this war, so it's reasonable for them to expect to want some control of lands. I really can't begrudge them that. Right, so our advance is stalling because we have gotten past the region where my planes are actually set to support. So we'll change that up. Grab this airbase so we can make it easier. Fabulous. We're obviously spreading quite thin right now, as you can tell. We've got pocketed, but that won't be a problem. We can we'll be able to liberate that pocket, no problem. And obviously, as we close the pocket on these guys down here in Shivran, we could take Shivran from them. That would really hurt their supply. We'll be in a much better place to have a nice short front line along the Caucasus. Fabulous. Turks, I mean, I'm a little displeased with the our Turkish allies. They haven't been... They contributed a bit at the beginning, and then they seem to have lost interest. Hey, Baku comes out of control. Hey, Turkey, give me Baku. Or rather, Azerbaijan. Nice. Now build level 10 infrastructure there. Can't build infrastructure in foreign territory. It's not foreign territory, I control it. Oh, it's still counting as Turkish controlled, even though they gave me control of the state. Okay. I think we have to take all the state off them in order for that to fix. There we go, put 200 in there. Good. Total air superiority now. Should make the rest of this much easier. We've got a Hungarian division that just automatically gave itself to me. Nice. Well, we will put it in Prague until we get more naval invasions to respond to. Ooh, that's quite a big naval invasion. Timed badly as well, because the forces in Bremen appear to be away. Or were they never there? Bremen certainly needs some more support. We'll be able to handle it, though. Especially since I have some fighters right here. Give us that bonus. Good. I guess you guys are ready to deploy pretty soon. Yeah. We'll let them keep training, I think, actually. I don't want to rush deploy them. I know it's usually a good idea, but I just don't want to. Good. Breaking them in Shivran. That's the last of their supplies taken. Alpine region invasion. Not looking like a problem. Handling it there. And we've driven them back into nice green there. In fact, now might be a good moment to send out the fleets. They are fully repaired. Let's have them reunify in Schleswig. however you say that. I'm sure it's not like that. Mongolia is going with RT-only strats. They are meme lords, apparently. Over there on the steppes. Do I count as controlling the state yet? Nope. Gonna need to take these last 2 provinces, I think. Oh, they caught part of the navy. So I guess we'll send the rest to support it. Make sure we don't lose any ships. Oh, no, we're never going to lose any ships there. Oh, here's the Soviet battleships, eh? Oh dear, oh dear. I don't foresee great things in your future, Soviet battleships. Instantly ended that naval invasion there. Beautiful. You can come across, force them back out. Beautiful. Yep, there goes the Soviet battleship. Didn't manage to kill it, but probably put some good damage on it. Let's have these guys merge up. Meanwhile, Baku extremely close to under German control. Annihilating those encircled divisions with no difficulty, of course. The cavalry, on the other hand, are having a little bit of trouble. But once these guys all, you know, filter forward to the front, then we'll be in a much better place. And that's probably a fairly natural next conquest. Quite nice and defensible. Baku, come on. I need you to count as being under my control. So we need this province. And we need this province. Very doable. New Romanian division. Okay, tax down here means we'll send you down here. There we go. Driven them back up there. Excellent. And they're fighting us over here. We only want to use these guys when we're actively engaged in a naval combat, I think, because they're expensive. They cost manpower, man. Okay, we got manpower. That's beautiful. Let's bump this up, and then it's time. Finally, time. Give me another army of infantry too, please. I'd love that. Okay, Baku, 1 province away before we can officially become the state controller. Pretty please. Nice. Now all we need to do is 5 hours. Boom, and it gives it back to Turkey for no reason. Give me Azerbaijan and Georgia, please. And Armenia. Where are you holding that you're so pleased with? Ah, right, down here. Okay, there we go. German Empire has control here, which means oil for days. No more importing from Iran. We are now self-sufficient within our nation on oil production, if you count our puppets, which you should. Beautiful. Beautiful news. Okay, men, you know, to your positions. We'll just let this front stabilize for a bit. Get everyone in nice positions. We will as well, I suppose, throw up a quick fort wall. Not there. In the provinces we want to hold. Beautiful. Tanks can liberate here. Good. Okay, well that was an extremely successful campaign to take a very nice amount of oil. I think we waited the right amount of time before we launched it. It was very successful, given the number of Soviets that were on that front near the beginning. How are you doing on Superior Tactician? He's doing well. Fly Swatter also getting up there as well. Very nice indeed. Have we beaten back the invasion in Albania? We have indeed. Ah, yes. Good point, Self. We should definitely garrison Tirana, or however you say that. Tirana, looks like. Because if it were to be naval invaded, Greece would... It's not Greece. Albania would instantly capitulate. Which should be a bit of a problem. So we'll garrison it. Looks like they're trying to cross here unsuccessfully. We put a naval... I think naval forts help with this. Yeah, fort -15. There's no land fort here, so... I was supposed to go to level 2, though. I'll upgrade that once it's clear. Okay, looks like we're holding okay over here. Let's just get our men in position. This new air zone is being over-prioritized because we were using it to push, so let's move some planes back to more appropriate locales. That came out as kind of American accenty. I was going for location, switched to locale. We would like more field hospitals, because manpower is such a devastating issue. Or not more field hospitals, but better field hospitals. And I would like this province as well. So we're only holding in hill terrain. Seems pretty good. Being driven back in some places, but we got more men coming in. Subject independence-wise, Yugoslavia is getting up there. Romania could be integrated if we had 266 political power, but I'm not going to do it, because like I said, we're going for nice-ish borders. Oh, they landed by Genoa. Interesting choice. Let's punish them for doing so. Okay, well, the Caucasus front is nicely consolidated. Let's get some forts built there. Not quite, actually. I would like to retake this province. You could help out with that. And then we'll put a fort there. And then I'll be pretty happy with my my eastern front line. I'm glad we could get control of it from Turkey. That's very useful. More free Hungarian troops. You can go to Prague for now. Good, there we go. Province taken. Fort queued. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to call it a part there. I think things have been going very well. We did a lot of damage to a bunch of destroyers and convoys with our naval bombers. In the next episode, war with the Danes will take place. But until then, thank you ever so very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit the like button. It helps out a great deal. Mittel Europa will rise to glory. Font looking a lot better. I think it may be time to consider major offensive operations against the Soviet Union. As soon as this 24 tank army is ready to deploy, and we could rush it, we could start doing unspeakable things to our Bolshevik neighbours to the east. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.